Dear friends, I am returning to the talks after again some break, but I am quite a relatively good form, so it's the time to continue. However, today I am returning to the issue of wisdom society and specifically to the issue of cooperation. I talked in generally about cooperation earlier, but now I will talk more about cooperation between larger entities which are components of this society. Cooperation within a nucleus is relatively natural and simple. The group of people who live in close proximity, they have joint meals, they raise children together, they have fun together. They learn to accept each other's peculiarities and don't take it too seriously. It gives a color and humor to this whole situation. So cooperation is quite natural, and it comes from the 100,000 years of this type of cooperation, which happened and worked. However, cooperation between the bigger entities, for example, the entities which comprise village or comprise town even more, it's different story. Here cooperation has not too much historical precedent. Of course, till now, certain within industry, the different entities cooperate, the countries cooperate. Many cooperation happens, but they're based exclusively on the essence that brings income and power. They don't care about each other as an entity. This thing like European Union, for example, well, I'm not criticizing it particularly, but in some sense, you could see how this cooperation doesn't work. It's just politics, power games, economical games, etc. So, if you look at our society at present and our history, you could even more think that that's impossible. It's a fiction that different entities will cooperate. And indeed, it will be fiction if the members of these entities, the people of Wisdom Society, wouldn't have good base of mind training, of wisdom training, particularly the things which I talked in the last several talks about, and the whole thing, ability not to be holding to opinions, beliefs, and particularly ability to see the essence thanks to paramita of prajna and openness, and the first paramita. So that is, if not that, I don't think it would be possible. Simply, the representative, let's talk about the village for simplicity, because it can be expanded. People, first of all, see that being together increases the capacity of decent, wise society. Within a nucleus, you can have a proper medical service, proper education. It goes as far as it can, and I'm not putting it down, but definitely it's not sufficient. You can't have a surgeon and hospital in each nucleus. If it comes to industrial production, which I will be talking later on, it's impossible within the little group of several people. It needs cooperation of several entities. And since they see it extremely clearly, thanks to that, the cooperation becomes the only way it can function, since there is no suppression, hierarchy, stratification, and leader or whatever who decides for them. They have to decide themselves. And they see it, that the best way to it work is the common good. Common good. If one nucleus is in trouble, it is an obvious. If they want to keep the whole thing, the other should help. That's obvious. It's you have to be. You don't need particularly even wisdom training to see it, but wisdom training gives them the ability of not holding to concepts. Consequently, the group of representing the I called village council, which represent individual nucleuses, also work in similar sense of nucleus. They meet frequently. They are able to live together, eat together, have a quality of a social group. And at the same time, they represent the what is needed and what's good for their individual nucleuses. It's not so easy. I'm not saying it by no means easy. And that the wisdom training is absolutely, unquestionably necessary to make this whole thing work. Not only work, but work smoothly and joyfully. So I just wanted to point out that here we are going into unknown territory, which has no historical examples. It's something which Wisdom Society will create, if it will want to, if it will be successful, will create. And I'm sure it is possible because we are innately wise, intelligent, we have ability to see the essence, what's important, what's superficial, etc. So that's all I wanted to say, because otherwise I wouldn't be surprised that many people will keep considering the whole thing as a fantasy, utopia, and fairy tale. Okay, So that is all for today. Well, see you hopefully soon. Goodbye.